Good evening. Today we are going to do a full immersive video in regards to the full moon in Libra. I am at the park and it is nighttime right now, and I've had a beautiful day so far. Today has been wonderful. I'm definitely feeling the vibes of the full moon, and for my personal journey, I do know what I need to release. And as hard as it is to release things and let go of things, on the other end, you have to remember that the balance that comes into play there is that the replenishment is so grand. Do not short yourself in life living in fear of letting things go that feel like normal. Do not ever get to a place where you don't want to let things go because you're so used to having a sense of normalcy around familiarity. Let the familiarity come from you being open to receive and your ability to let go and to purge. Because when you find a sense of familiarity in a realm of letting go and a realm of flowing with the ebb and flow of life, you're open to receive all of the blessings that the divine has for you. And when you stay stuck in the seat of self in an unhealthy way, you really block the things that are in alignment with your highest and truest path. So that is one of the main reasons why I promote just being one with self and always knowing what is the greatest path to take for the highest learning experience of your own journey. So I just had to get that preface out before we get started. And I do want to do a 2-minute meditation. So we're going to allow this channeled message to come through as clear as possible. So go ahead and get in a comfortable seated position. Deep breath in. And release. Last deep breath in. And release. Just give yourself a couple minutes to relax. Absorb your surroundings. Relax. Be one with nature. Now slowly open your eyes. Allow yourself to come back to. I'm in the park. There's a lot of bugs, and I definitely notice bugs, but bugs are natural, so we're not gonna freak out. I don't think this video is gonna be very long because I'm gonna get straight to the point with this one. We all know that a full moon is a time for release and letting go. We're currently experiencing a full moon in Libra. Libra is a cardinal air sign. Cardinal air signs are fluctuating in their stance, fluctuating in life. They really give themselves the opportunity to see the good in all while balancing the bad or the negative or whatever's on the opposite side of the spectrum. And a lot of times when you're dealing with Libra energy, You're talking about beauty. You're talking about balance. You're talking about justice. You're talking about indecisiveness. You're talking about the lack of making decisions. You're talking about flirting with life. You're talking about fantasizing with life, but you're also talking about needing constant reassurance, and you're talking about not really being too sure of oneself, right? So when you're dealing with these type of concepts, you want to be sure that you are finding the balance within it all. Do not let anything take you off of your mark or distract you when you're trying to find the balance in these things. And what's really being highlighted with this Libra full moon is the balance that is in relationships, the balance amongst oneself that you have in relationships. A lot of times in relationships, we find ourselves people pleasing. We find ourselves giving in to the lower frequencies. We find ourselves not being our higher self in relationships. I know for myself personally, a lot of times when I get in relationships, one of two things is going to happen. Either you're going to follow my lead or I'm going to follow yours. And what I've done over the years in my interpersonal relationships, if I've been very lax and lenient on the way that we're going, and even if that way isn't productive, I have allowed myself to succumb to a people-pleasing mentality. And that is a derivative of my 11th and 12th house being in Libra. So I'm heavily immersed in my relationships, whether that be the relationship I have with food, whether that be the relationship I have with my family, relationships I have with strangers, relationships I have at work. All of the relationships in my life, at some point, I have found them to be unbalanced because I have taken on a people-pleasing mentality. And what this full moon is asking you to do is it's asking you to really assess, how do you show up in relationships? How do you show up for yourself in relationships? Because a lot of people think that a relationship simply means I'm doing something for others, but it's a ship that we get on because we have similar relations. There's a relation there, there's a relational something there, and we're getting on a ship together to go somewhere. So with that being said, it's just very important to find out, where is the common ground? Why are we meeting on this common ground? Because even though it's common ground, do we have the same purpose? That's the balance there. Always remember that the student is the teacher and the teacher is the student. In order for the teacher to learn, the teacher has had to have been a student and continue to always be a student to continue to learn. And then at some point, the student is the teacher, because as I learn, I'm teaching you because you're having to teach me. It's a give and take. It's a push and pull. It's balance. And that is what this full moon is really highlighting, is having a Libra full moon in Aries season. Aries season is about assertion. You're gonna go for it. You're gonna go straight into it. You might not even think about what you're going into, but we still have that Mars in Cancer, which is still allowing us to make sure that what we're going after it with passion. We're not just going after it because it's something to do. My Mars is in Aries, and it's a strong placement. It's a wonderful placement if you found balance in that. So it's important for you to find out in your chart, where is your Mars at? Where is your Libra at? I know that my Libra is in the 12th and 11th house. It's in my social life, my relationships, how I show up in the world. And then my Mars is in the 5th house. And I know with these things, I really have to tailor my life to make it look, not even to make it look, I have to tailor my life to be better and more balanced at my approach and how I deal with external things. But it always starts on the internal, which is why I wanted to meditate first. When you meditate, you can assess things from a much more balanced standpoint. And that is so important in life, because if you can't assess things from a balanced standpoint, then you'll always assess it from an unbalanced, because it's going to be on one side of the scale, either this one or the other. And with it being a full moon in Libra, we have to let go of those toxic traits in our relationships, those unhealthy habits in our relationships, those tendencies to succumb to lower vibrational thinking and lower frequencies that can rally up when it's two or more. Because when you get with someone else, you sometimes let yourself fall by the wayside. You don't always stick to the regimens that you have. You don't always stick to the plan. You don't always stick to the original train of thought, because you find yourself bending the rules to incorporate or include other people. But this full moon is asking you to let go of those people-pleasing habits. Let go of your inability to make decisions. Let go of your reasoning when it has nothing to do with your reckoning. If your reasoning comes about and your reasoning was something that you know you need to let go of, you're justifying keeping a closet full of clothes, when you know that that closet full of clothes is hindering you from the true reckoning that you need in your life to move forward and to really gain access to all of the blessings that you want to obtain. Learn to let it go. Learn not to hang on to these things that are keeping you confined from the divine path of your future. If you want to access your future, you must take the road less traveled. The other paths are full. The other paths are full. The other paths are full. This path is the only one for you. So I encourage you to utilize the energy of this full moon. I know that today is the 14th. In my own theory, when we have a full moon, for me personally, I have to absorb the energies of the full moon. I need to see what's going on. I need to really assess the situation and allow my body to absorb what is going on with the full moon so that I can come on and give you guys the best message possible. And that is the one thing that I really want to highlight. Feel free to do your research and dig as deep as you need to. But I will tell you, full moons are for release. We have a full moon in Libra, which is the opposite of Aries. We're in Aries season. Find what houses you have Aries and Libra in. Compare those. Remember, Mars is still in Cancer. Everything that you're going to go after, you need to do it with love, with compassion, with care. And make sure you're doing it from a balanced standpoint, whereas you're letting go of all of the fluff, everything that doesn't belong, everything that is not serving your highest purpose, so that you can quantum leap into your higher timeline and take the road less traveled for your divine being. So I encourage you so much. I thank you so much. I send so much gratitude to you, into the universe and the infinite powers that be. And I thank God for the opportunity to sit here and to give you all a channeled message. It is always a pleasure. And I look forward to chatting with you soon. Go in peace.